This is all about hashtags. Thank you all so much for attending. Hope you enjoy the class. My name is Wade, and I'll be your guide for the class today. In terms of objectives, fairly straightforward. We're going to talk about a lot about hashtags, what they are, how they work, how and why people use them. And we'll talk a bit about how that usage differs across social media apps. Almost every social media app now supports hashtags. Some they're very popular, some not, some are used differently. So we'll dig into some of those as time permits. Let's get started. You may have heard people talking and typing strangely these days, saying things like, are you hashtag confused about hashtags? Hashtag don't panic. Hashtags are working their way into typed sentences and sometimes even into spoken sentences. Hopefully by the end of the class today, you aren't going to be confused or afraid of hashtags. Let's explain what a hashtag is. A hashtag is a word or words preceded by the pound sign. That's the hashtag. Their purpose is to group posts from lots of different people together. And there's typically grouping things based on some topic or possibly from a certain organization, typically around some trending event or topic. Hashtags can be created by anyone, so nobody owns hashtags. You don't have to register hashtags. You don't have to only use hashtags other people have created. It is kind of the Wild West. Anybody can make one, anybody can use one. That has some good parts and some bad parts. We'll talk about that as well, but that's the way it's working. Since we can all create our own hashtags, there are a few rules you need to understand in order to create a hashtag. It can only contain letters, numbers, and underscores, and I don't ever remember seeing one with underscores, so in all practical purposes, it's only letters and numbers. It is not case sensitive, but lots of times by using capitals for the first letter of each word, it makes the hashtag more interpretable. So for example, this is a sample hashtag versus this is a sample hashtag. This one you might have trouble figuring out what it's saying. This one is very easy to understand. So it's fairly common, especially if it's got more than 2 or 3 words to capitalize each of the words. It cannot contain any spaces. So you can see everything is jammed up together. In fact, the next space after the hashtag indicates that that is the end of the hashtag. And they can be fairly broad. So for example, you could have hashtag dogs that would be appropriate to put into any post that has anything to do with dogs. Or you could make it much more focused. So hashtag border collie puppy training would only be appropriate if it's border collies and their puppies, and it has something to do with how to train them. So by adding additional terms, you can make it more specific. There's sometimes when you want it very broad. There's sometimes when you want it pretty specific. And a single post could contain both broad and focused hashtags. A single post can contain many hashtags. We'll talk about some of the maximums. They do differ a little bit, social media site to social media site, but typically we're talking about limits in the 30 range. So more than most people would ever use. Some businesses get a little carried away with hashtags and they would put 50 or 60 if they didn't put some kind of limit on them. And let's talk a little bit about ways to use hashtags. And so one way is to get involved with some trending event. And it may be some event that you just want to get information about. So it's basically an information gathering process. More often, you're actually wanting to have something to say about that event. So you can actually join into the conversation a couple of different ways. You can comment on posts that somebody else made, or you can create your own post using the same hashtag. So there are lots of ways to use them. And historically, and still probably in most social media sites, trending events are the most popular hashtags. So for example, as you might guess right now, hashtag Ukraine and the various other variations of that is probably the most trending hashtag out there. The Olympics just wrapped up, but prior to that, hashtag Olympics was probably the most trending item out there. And just so you know, at the end, we'll spend some time. We'll actually go into a few social media sites for sure. We'll go into Twitter and Instagram, since they're the heaviest hashtag users, and show you some real life examples. But I want to kind of set the tables first in terms of what you're going to be looking at. But anyway, that's a very common use of hashtags, is to group a lot of different posts from a lot of different people around some common topic, and typically something trending. Now, another common use is to get information about a particular organization or business that you're interested in. So for example, you can search on hashtag GetSetUp and see all the posts that were made that included that hashtag in them. If it has that hashtag in there, it's because they're saying something about GetSetUp. Could be something good, could be something bad, could just be making comments. But it's a way to pull together all those comments that are being made and read through them. You can also, as we mentioned, you can create your very own hashtag and start a conversation. You may start something that ends up being a large trending hashtag. Most of us probably don't do that. When you're creating your own hashtag, it's probably more something localized. For example, if my family is going to have a family reunion this year, and I want to create a hashtag that we would all use when we're planning and after the event to look at pictures that everybody took, I might create a hashtag like hashtag Yarborough Family Reunion. And I'll show you how to do this when we do the demo. But one thing you need to do if you're creating your own that you plan to use is you need to check and see if someone else is using the same one. Because as I said, you don't register them, you can't register them. Anybody can use any hashtag, but at least you can check and see if anybody has used it so far. Let me pause for questions. I've kind of covered a lot of territory so far. Any questions yet?
I have one, Wade. How do you check if you find out if someone has used it already?
Yep, I'll show you. That'll be easier to demo than to explain. So
okay, very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just wondered if Facebook uses hashtags or which social media uses hashtags. Does Facebook?
Yeah, every one of them, I think, at this point allows them. So, Twitter and Instagram are the most heavy users, but you have Facebook, YouTube, pretty much any social media site out there. Now, Facebook is not a heavy hashtag user, so they're out there, and it's a little bit more specialized for both Facebook and YouTube in terms of who's using them and how they're using them. Whereas with Instagram and Twitter, they're extremely common. So, but yeah, they are out there on Facebook. If we have time, I can demo that one as well.
Thank you.
Luckily, the basics of how they work is the same site to site. There's a few variations that I'll point out, but the basic rules are pretty much the same. So if you know how to use them one place, it's pretty easy to figure out how to use it somewhere else. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
So I was wondering, is hashtags, like say if you create one for Facebook, would that hashtags could be used in say YouTube, or it's...
Sure. Again, there's no rules about what hashtags. I mean, there's rules about how to create a hashtag, but you can create one and use it in every social media site you use. So if I was going to be using this one in multiple sites, I could have hashtag family reunion and use that in Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, any place I went. Now, they don't work across sites. So if I search for hashtag GetSetUp in Instagram, it's only going to show me Instagram posts that have hashtag GetSetUp. It's not going to jump over and show me anything from Facebook or Twitter or any place else. I could use hashtag GetSetUp, and hashtag GetSetUp exists in all those sites we just mentioned. but the usage is restricted to that particular site. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. And I was wondering, is hashtags kind of like keyword when we do the library search? And if it yes, in a library, there's like a thesaurus. So if you try to search something, is there a catalog, or for lack of like better way to name it, you can see how people describe something, so you can use their hashtags?
There are somewhat, I mean, probably the more common thing people are doing around that is such as there's always a lot of interest in what's the most trending things, what are people talking about, so they can join in on those. And Twitter probably does the best job in that area of having a way to find out what is trending right now, what are the hashtags that are trending. But you can also just go to Google and Google trending hashtags and get results. But in terms of best usage, in terms of rules about the best way to format a hashtag and those kind of things, if there's much out there, I haven't seen it yet. It's still pretty much a Wild West out there. Probably over time, there may be some standards kind of set up, or some best case scenarios. Probably not standards isn't the right word to use, but that people kind of go to. But that's one of the bad parts of having no rules around hashtags, and I'll be able to show you that probably easier than trying to explain it. But if like during the Olympics, there were probably 150 different hashtags that had to do with the Olympics. So trying to get the information you're looking for, you'd have to fumble through a whole lot of different hashtags. So in some ways, it would be nice if there was just one and everybody agreed to use hashtag Olympics 2022 or something. Okay,
Great, thank you.
Yep, great questions. Right, let's keep going, because some of this will kind of, again, start to make more sense as we go through it. And I think especially the demos will. Where do you put hashtags is another common question. And the most common place is at the bottom of your post. That works in all the different social media sites. And that's the most common place to put it. You say whatever you're going to say. And then down at the bottom, you would throw in your hashtags. Now, you can also put your hashtag in the body of the message, and this also works everywhere. This is probably more popular in Twitter than anywhere else. So example, I might tweet, I am watching hashtag around the world in 80 days, and it's great. What do you guys think? So one of the reasons that's popular in Twitter is that Twitter is the only one that limits the number of characters you can have in your post. It's a maximum of 240 characters. So if I said I'm watching around the world in 80 days and it's great, what do you think? And then I had at the bottom, I put hashtag around the world in 80 days. These count against me twice. So it tends to limit what else I can say in my post. And Instagram allows you to put hashtags in the comments. So that's not extremely common. I think a lot of the companies, businesses use that approach. So you don't see the hashtags in the actual post. So they'll post something and then they'll comment on their own post and put the hashtags in the comment. So it makes I think the reason for that is they think it makes the post look nicer. You don't have all those hashtags in there, which can look a little sloppy, some people think. So it's a way to get it out of your post, but still get the benefit of it. I don't think that works anywhere except Instagram. So, questions on that one? All right. Just to kind of give you a little better idea, hopefully, of how this things work, I've kind of made up a hypothetical post in a hypothetical social media sites. But maybe to show you how it works a little bit, and then we'll actually go in and navigate through a few sites. But so this is what I posted. I love my 57 Chevy, and then I put a picture of my 57 Chevy, and then I added 3 hashtags at the bottom of my post. Hashtag cars, hashtag Chevy, hashtag 57 Chevy. Now, by putting these hashtags in my post, what happens then is that my post is now going to show up when anybody searches for hashtag cars. My post would be in there somewhere. So this is just kind of showing that there's other posts, but mine is one of the ones that's in that list of posts around hashtag cars. Same thing. If somebody is following or searching hashtag Chevy, they'd see my post. If they're following and searching hashtag 57 Chevy, they would see the post. And so from a someone that's entering a hashtag, the advantage of hashtags is it highly increases the likelihood that someone's going to see your post. If I just posted it, and we'll use Facebook as an example, it's probably not the best site, but probably more people familiar with Facebook. If I just posted this, then pretty much only my friends and probably a fairly small subset of my friends are ever going to see it. But if I added some hashtags, then people that aren't my friends and would never see my post might see my post because they're following hashtag cars, and my post happens to catch their eye when they're looking through all those posts. And some other people that are following this one might see it. This is why businesses love hashtags, because what they're trying to do is to get their posts seen by as many potential customers as possible. That's why they'll put 30 hashtags on a post. So it's now showing up in 30 different lists, as well as anybody that's following that person. That makes sense? Kind of.
This is Lynn, and I'm wondering, like, let's say I have holistic healing for caregivers, right? So can I use that for in a Facebook platform? Is if I post something and then I guess at the bottom saying holistic, health for caregivers, does Facebook, you can use it in Facebook? And it will
you
go
can
to
use hashtags and just remember it's got to be all one word, but you could have hashtag holistic health caregiver for health caregivers, whatever you wanted it to be.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In fact, for businesses, that's one thing that is what is considered a best practice, is to have a hashtag that is your hashtag. And so, like, for instance, if you look at anything GetSetUp posts, they're going to have hashtag GetSetUp in every single post. So it's called your brand hashtag. So again, you can create a brand, and that's typically the name of your business, which means there's not going to be many, if anybody else, using it. But it's another way. That way, if somebody's hears about your business and wants to find out more, they can just search on hashtag name of your business and see everything you've posted in any of these other places. So if I had a hashtag Wade's Cars, I would put that in there as well.
Okay, so would I do hashtag caregivers, hashtag holistic healing? I mean, is that beneficial to add all of those?
Yep, that's pretty much the consider the best practice. Again, that's, and I'll show you some of these when we get in there. But lots of businesses are going to have 20 to 30 hashtags, and they'll have all the various combinations of permutations of who and what they are, as well as something specific to that post. So let's say I'm a used car salesman and I sell used cars, but and this is one of the cars I'm trying to sell. I probably want to have hashtags that anybody that's looking for a 57 Chevy would be looking for, but then I probably want to have some other ones that are broader, like hashtag Wade's Cars, hashtag used cars. Yep. So that's kind of the broad and specific. Yep. Good discussion. It's a question about can your name be a hashtag? Sure, anything can be a hashtag. All right, so let's actually jump in and spend the rest of the time looking at how these work. I think that's going to make the most sense, but I did want to kind of first get the ground rules out of the way. So let's grab my phone here, and I'm going to start with Twitter and pay homage because hashtags started with Twitter. So, and it still is probably the site. I think probably Instagram may have passed Twitter by in terms of the percentage of the posts that have a hashtag in it, but still those are the top two. And especially in terms of trending things, Twitter is the most common. So for example, we were just talking about trending, and there it is right here. So Twitter always has a trending page, and it will show you hashtags that are trending right now. And it typically breaks it into categories. But you can scroll through and see which hashtags, and it's not just hashtags. Sometimes it's a person or a company.
I'm sorry, I'm kind of new to Twitter. Are you in Twitter right now?
Yep, this is Twitter. And what I would do, I was already there when it came up. Normally you would start in your feed, but I would touch the search here. And so if I wanted to search for a particular hashtag, I can just search here. So I'm going to search, and it shows me my recent searches, and I've got some of these already here to kind of save time of me having to type everything. But as I said, right now, this is variations of Ukraine are some of the most popular hashtags. So if I just touch that, it's going to search through and show me tweets that have, and I selected hashtag Ukraine Russia. And so these are all posts. Now Twitter, again, does a lot more of grouping and categorizing than some of the other sites. It shows you the top post, and by top, it typically means the most popular. But if I wanted to find out what is the actual latest thing going on, I can go here and it'll show me this was posted 15 seconds ago. This was posted 21 seconds ago. So if you want to see, literally what's just happening, you can go there.
Now, if you just answer somebody there, can everyone see you or only the person you're answering?
Nope, everybody. It's like
Okay.
posting on Facebook. It's, but Twitter doesn't even have a concept of friends. So if you post it on Twitter, now everybody is obviously not going to see it because there's millions of people posting millions of things. So every social media site has what's called an algorithm, and that algorithm figures out what to put in your feed, but it is eligible to be seen by anyone.
Okay, thank you. So you
Yeah.
can't really hide it. You can't really send an email to someone else on Twitter without anybody else seeing it.
There is a messenger feature down here. So if I want to just send a message to this person, I could send a message down here. But if you
Okay.
actually tweet, then it's available to anyone and everyone that has a Twitter account.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Let's look at the other hashtags here, because again, this was actually posted by Ukraine News UK. And it has a tweet, which is short. And then here's all the hashtags: hashtag Ukraine, hashtag Kyiv, hashtag nuclear, hashtag nukes, hashtag stand with Ukraine, etc. So you can see that there are a lot of hashtags all around, pretty much around the same topic. Some of them obviously are a little more narrow. Some of them are extremely broad. Now, one thing about hashtags anywhere and everywhere is they're all actionable. So if I wanted to find more about stand with Ukraine, if I just touch that hashtag, and I'll do that, it now takes me to hashtag stand with Ukraine. And now this is only going to show me tweets that have hashtag stand with Ukraine on it. Now, each one of these is going to have some other, so you can kind of end up hashtag surfing, because you start with one and then it shows you some others, and you say, oh, that's an interesting one. Let me see what's going on with that one. So I'll kind of go down through and you'll see here's additional hashtags around this one. But you kind of get the basic idea of how that's working.
Yeah, yeah. The lady was wearing the colors of the Ukraine flag. The first lady was blue and yellow.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, and so this is kind of where you're just consuming information. You're just surfing around trying to get information. A lot of people on Twitter are primarily, that's typically called a passive user. You're absorbing information. Some people never tweet anything, never interact at all. But there are several levels of interaction. So if I could read this post and then I could come down, and again, most people are familiar with Facebook. I can like this post. I can retweet it, and that's like commenting. So if I retweet it, and you can see 2,980 people have already retweeted this one, and it was posted 1 day ago. But if you touch there, then you can retweet or quote tweet. And I don't want to turn this into a Twitter class, but if you retweet something, it's just going to forward it to under your name. A quote tweet allows you to say something about it. So you can say, just read this article. It's great. Everybody needs to read this. So I'll touch this just to kind of show you how that works.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm kind of new to Twitter. So what does retweet, what's the advantage of retweet? Because it's already out there. Why do I want to echoing or, repeat the tweet?
But it's out there, but and the people following that organization will probably see that, but other people probably won't. And so if I now retweet it, or if I quote tweet it, then everybody that's following me is more likely to see it. And then if you see mine and you retweet it, then people following you will see it. So that's how stuff goes viral, and that's how things are being seen by thousands of people, is by people either retweeting or quote tweeting. And again, the difference being here, I could add a comment before I retweet it. So this is very much like sharing something on Facebook. I put a comment here, great ideas, great article, everybody read this. And then I'll tweet it, and it goes out to everybody that follows me. Because you do follow people on Twitter, so it's like Facebook and Instagram in that sense. And the people that follow me are most likely to see it. Some people that don't follow me might see it as well, but there's a higher probability, just like on Facebook, your friends are more likely to see something you post than other people. Even though if you post it as public, anybody on Facebook could see it.
Is there some way, if you retweet something, because I've never actually tweeted anything, but I've retweeted stuff. And is there any way to see who looked at your retweet? Like who looked at that?
You can't see who looked at it. You can see who liked it or retweeted your retweet.
Okay.
I have a funny story. My sons were singing a song to Hamilton, and my son's an influencer, so he tweeted it. And then all of a sudden, the people from Hamilton tweeted out them singing the song. It was pretty funny.
Wow.
Yeah, that is one comment that's made a lot about Twitter, is that, and for whatever reason, that happens more on Twitter than it does other places, is that, you either comment around a famous person or something, and then all of a sudden that famous person responds to your tweet. And it's like, wow, I posted something about James Taylor and he saw it and actually tweeted back or something. Or don't know why that is, but it does seem to happen a lot and on Twitter. Yeah, but that's cool. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to retweet this one. I'm just going to cancel out of this, and just kind of showing you how that works. What I will do is show you how to tweet something, just to kind of, again, show you how we would do that. Any questions about finding hashtags or anything else about that? Well, let me
I've got kind of specific questions, so maybe I'll ask you later. They're a little bit specific. Okay.
Is it about Twitter?
Yeah. I'm running for re-election in November. I'm a community college trustee, and will Twitter help me run for re-election?
It couldn't hurt. There probably are people that follow Twitter, so yep, that's probably a good thing to give a try.
Okay, I'll try it.
I was going to go to another one to kind of give you a slightly different twist, and I'm going to just cancel out of here and go back to the search, because it's one I'd already tweeted. But again, how a lot of people use Twitter, but again, another way to use hashtags. And this is one that people are more apt to get involved with. I don't know if you've been watching 1883. It's the prequel to Yellowstone. Anyway, it's a really popular TV show.
Yeah.
So I'm going to click on that. So this is hashtag 1883 TV. So again, these are all tweets that have hashtag 1883 TV. Here's a related hashtag, hashtag 1883 finale. But lots of times people that are heavy Twitter users, they'll be sitting there with their phone while that last episode is going on, and they're constantly tweeting, I can't believe he's going to go in there. I can't believe they just shot that person. And so there people are commenting with people all over the world real time while the show is going on.
Ah,
Is that considered okay? Is that
Oh, yeah.
okay? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's very common. So things like popular shows, especially a lot of the things like Survivor and those kind of shows, as well as sporting events. But again, but I'm more apt, probably a lot of people more apt to jump in this and actually make a comment or just do their own post, since it's not quite as intimidating as commenting on world events where people maybe feel like I'm not really qualified to talk about the war in the Ukraine, but I can talk about 1883. So that's another use of hashtags, because anybody from very famous people to your neighbor next door, might be commenting about it. And again, what you can do, this is the most popular ones, but if you were using this while you're watching the show, you probably have it set to latest. And again, as things are happening, they're popping through real time. During elections, kind of back to Marcia, a lot of people are glued to Twitter during elections because you're getting moment-to-moment updates as to who's winning, what's going on.
Really? Wow.
Let me quickly show how are we doing for time? We're doing good. How to post, how to tweet something. And in Twitter, you just hit the plus sign, which they've changed. It used to be a feather, but now this is, let me get back to the home page. Okay, yep, so that is here. So if I wanted to post something, and I'm not going to tweet this, but I'll just say, so I just finished watching, and then if I want to put my hashtag, I would put hashtag, and I'll start typing 1883. And as you start typing, it's going to do what's called autocomplete. It's going to start showing you popular tweets that start with the letters you've already put in there. And you can see the two we've already seen. There's two that are really popular, 1883 TV and 1883 finale. So I could select which one I want to post to include, or I could include both if I wanted to.
So when you say the Twitter feed, what is the Twitter feed? Which one of those things is the Twitter feed?
Okay, I'll go back and show you.
Okay.
And then I can finish, I thought, I can't believe that so-and-so and so-and-so, or I thought it was great that whatever. So I make my comments by putting it in the sentence like that. It saves me from having to put it at the bottom, but you can do it either way. So I could put them all in the sentence, or I could put it, have the sentence and then put them at the bottom. We saw some of each when we were looking at them. And then I would just hit tweet, and I've tweeted. Very simple to tweet, but that's all you have to do. Embed it in the sentence.
I know you're only allowed to have a certain number of characters. So what happens if you go over those characters? Will it stop you and it stops typing?
It stopped you. It lets you know when you're getting close, and it has a little countdown that says you've got 50 characters left. You've got 25 characters left. You're done.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Great.
All right. So I'm going to cancel out of this. Delete. This is when you click over here. This is your feed, and it's the same thing as your feed in Facebook. So these are.
I actually need to learn Facebook too, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
Okay.
So these are tweets that Twitter algorithm I was talking about has selected for me to see
Okay.
based on people and organizations that I follow, types of things I follow. And most of the time, most of the tweets are from people and organizations you follow, but sometimes other things will show up based on the Twitter, on the algorithm. So that's what this is. So if I just want to see what's going on, I can just scroll through here. And
So that's called your Twitter feed then? Is that what that's called?
yep, that's the
Okay.
feed. Yep, that's your Twitter feed.
Thank you.
And so these are like Senior Planet is, I follow Senior Planet, I follow Graceful Aging. So these are all organizations and people that I follow.
I need to follow those too,
I do-
actually.
So if you hashtag someone's name, which means you actually want them to see that tweet or that Facebook post, is that all you have to do? And it will go to their info?
It's an
Do you
ad
understand?
instead of hashtag.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah. So ad sign is a tag, hashtag just as the hashtag to group. So
you
that's
put the
why
ad-
in that.
You put the ad before someone's name then, right? Is that right?
Yep, someone's name or an organization. Yeah.
Okay.
That's why in that last slide, you always see in our closing, it says include hashtag GetSetUp and at GetSetUp. The at is a tag. And so that way, if you include that in your tweet, in your post, whatever, it would notify our person at GetSetUp that monitors the social media feeds, and they'd see your tweet and probably reply to it.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So at tags, hashtag just creates a hashtag. All right, let's move on and talk about Instagram. I want to definitely cover these two, because they are the two largest ones, and there are some differences. So I'm going to flip over to Instagram. And one of the differences off the top is not the difference so much in hashtags, but how people use Instagram versus Twitter. And so we were just talking about Twitter. Lots of times it's late breaking news, events, things going on. Whereas Instagram, if you don't have Instagram, Instagram is all about pictures and videos. So it's a very visual media, not so much about late breaking news. So hashtag Ukraine is still probably a trending hashtag, but things people use more on Instagram are to find pictures they like hashtag dogs, hashtag sunsets, those types of things. Since there is a GetSetUp one right there, I'm going to actually look at that one. So we'll talk about the feed first. So this is your Instagram feed, just like the Twitter feed we just saw. So this is where I can see things that it looks like Meredith is at either at Mardi Gras or at a Mardi Gras party. But these are things that my friends, people I follow, have posted. And they're all primarily pictures and videos. We'll go back up to GetSetUp. And since Instagram is all about pictures and videos, typically that is how the post starts. The others all start with text. Instagram, everything starts with a picture. And then what you had to say about the picture is down here in this little bitty font down below. And it only shows you the first two lines. But I can click more here to see the entire, and it's called a caption in Instagram. And here are the hashtags that were included. So hashtag Monday mood, hashtag beating Monday blues, hashtag traffic mix. There's hashtag GetSetUp. That's the brand hashtag. So if you see anything we post, it's going to have hashtag GetSetUp in there, hashtag dance. They need to use some capitals to make some of these easier to read, dance mood, whatever. You kind of get the idea. So those are all the hashtags. And just like with Twitter, if I'm looking at this and I say, dance mood, I wonder what that is. I can touch dance mood. And now I've gone to that hashtags page.
Wow.
And these are all the posts that have been made. And there are 196,000 of them
Oh my God.
that have hashtag dance mood somewhere in the post. Now, something else unique to Instagram is that you can actually follow a hashtag on Instagram. And if you follow a hashtag, it's like following a person or following an organization. Instagram's algorithm will put some posts that were made to hashtag dance mood in my feed automatically. So I don't have to come here and look. So like in Twitter, if I wanted to see hashtag Ukraine, I'd have to go and actually search. With Instagram, they'll put things in your feed from any of the hashtags that you follow. So, and all I'd have to do is click here to follow that hashtag. Like Instagram, and it's actually the same symbol even. If I want to go look for hashtags, I can hit here and it'll take me to a search. And let's search for dogs because that's very popular. And I've already searched for that, so I'm going to save some time. I'll just search for hashtag dog. And it shows me the different hashtags that start with DOG. And there is one hashtag dog that's got 335 million posts. Dogs of Instagram's got 269 million posts. So again, but there's lots of hashtags that have to do with dogs. This is kind of what I was saying. If you really like dogs, you got a lot of choices in terms of what you want to select. Now these are starting to get a little more targeted. Dog sitting, dog training.
Instadog.
So, but if I touch any one of these, I'll just touch Dogs of Instagram. It'll take me to that page. And these are all the posts that were made to Dogs of Instagram. And again, all you see is the picture because Instagram's about pictures. If I see something I like, I can touch that post here. It will take me to the actual post. And if I like this dog's domain is the name of the account that posted that, I could follow that account. I can like it, I can reply to it, I can share it. So these are all the ways you can interact with the post on Instagram. Pretty similar to Twitter and Facebook and all the others.
And the one at the end, that means you can save it? Is that what that means? That little like a ribbon?
This one?
Yeah.
Yep. So one thing about Instagram, since it's all about pictures, it kind of has the concept of, I call them photo albums, they call them collections. But I'll save this one to show you how that works. I'm going to touch that and I'm going to have to do it pretty quickly. So something's going to pop up here that says collection, add to collection, and I'm going to touch that.
Okay.
And so you can create, I call these my photo albums, but these are the collections and you can create a new one anytime by clicking here and giving it a name. So I've got a birds collection, I got a quotes, I got landscapes. I have a dog collection, so I can say, add this to my dog collection. It tells me it was saved to dogs and the icon changes. So if I want to go look at my dog photo album, I'll just touch my profile down in the bottom right. Come up here to the triple bar. This is a little convoluted. We have a class on this. We can go into more detail, but here's my saved.
Oh, okay.
And this will show me all my picture books. But if I want to look at my dog picture book, I'll just touch there. And there's all the dog pictures I've saved.
Huh.
And here's the one I just put in there. They're in reverse chronological order. So that was the most recent one I put in. That's actually a video. So you can post videos or pictures.
So most people don't put any words in Instagram then, they just do pictures, right?
Well, this, so again, it shows me here, if I touch one of these, it will take me to the actual post, which does have a caption.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But again, it's one sentence pretty much.
Okay.
And she uses a lot of hashtags. Let me click on that one. Oops. All right. Why is
Looks
this
like a
not
toy.
working?
It looks like a toy dog. It doesn't even look real.
Yeah. So here's all the hashtags that she used.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Oh,
And it is a toy poodle. So she's got hashtag toy poodle love, but then puppies and puppy love. So a little more broad
Mhm.
hashtags, puppy life.
so Wade, this is Lynn. So when I have a lot of friends that use Instagram, but not only are they creating their brand, they also have a product that they're selling.
Mhm.
Do you think Instagram is a good platform to sell a product, or what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it is probably the most popular site for marketing and sales.
Uh-huh.
Probably because people respond to pictures of products. And so if you, especially if you have products, it's very easy to show your products on there. So yeah, there are tons of businesses out there. And by using hashtags, you can get it in front of a lot of people.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, it is a good source. I know somebody asked earlier, and I want to go there before I forget about it, because I said I'd show you how to do this. But let's say, because this is where I would probably use hashtag family, Yarba family reunion. And what, because it's all about pictures and family reunions, everybody takes a bunch of pictures. So maybe during the family reunion, there'll be 60 pictures taken, and everybody's going to see everybody else's pictures. So instead of emailing pictures back and forth to everybody, what I'd want to do is just create a hashtag and then tell everybody, whenever you post something on Instagram, be sure and include hashtag Yarborough Family Reunion or whatever my hashtag is going to be. That way, anyone can go to that hashtag and see all the pictures that everybody took. Does that make sense so far?
That's a good idea.
So let me figure out how to find one to use. So I'll click on the search down here and come up to the search. And so I'm just going to start going. So I'm going to start with hashtag, since it's got to start with hashtag. And I'm just going to Yarborough family. And it starts showing me hashtags that are currently being used that start with Yarborough family. So just plain old Yarborough family is not going to work. In fact, if I say see all results, there's more, but I can see there's at least 3 people using Yarborough family. So
Wow.
I'll go ahead and add reunion.
Yeah.
And there's 2 that are using Yarborough family reunion. Let me see all the results. There's only 3, 2017, 2019. So I could use Yarborough family reunion 2022. Nobody's using it, but there's a chance somebody else might use it. So I would maybe want to make it even more specific. Yarborough family reunion, whatever day, 2022. So again, the longer the hashtag is, the less likely somebody else is going to be using the same one you're using. It's not a catastrophe if 2 people are using it, and let's just be nosy and go see what this looks like. So we'll go to hashtag Yarborough family reunion 2019. That one a very good one. There's only 1 post that's been made to that one.
Wow.
That one has a few more. But again, if there had been 50 pictures taken at the family reunion, all 50 of them would be here under this search item.
So if there's only 1 or 2 pictures in there, can you use the same hashtag, or is that crazy?
Nope, you can use the same one, but now my pictures would be down here intermixed with their pictures.
That wouldn't be ideal, probably. So
Wouldn't be ideal, yeah. So you probably want to come up with something that's not close to anything that's being used. All right.
I have to figure out how to use this for my election campaign. I have no clue,
Yeah, and the thing to do is go out and look for some other hashtags that people have used. So look for hashtag campaign,
Okay.
or if you know somebody that's run recently, you can even search for them and see. But yeah, you can use that search and kind of snoop around and to find hashtags. We got about 3 or 4 minutes left. Let me just open it up for general questions instead of going into another one, because it works the same in Facebook and YouTube and all the other sites. Any questions?
Yeah, well, this is Kirsten Hogan. I'm relatively new to this hashtag. I always wonder, is this like a ad posting?
Nope, it's not. It's for anything. So it's not just advertising. Businesses use a lot. That's why a lot of this is ad related. But every time I post something, in fact, let me go back to my. I'll go to my profile, and because all the social media sites pretty much have a feed and a profile, and so the feed is where you're seeing things that other people have posted, and your profile is where you see things that you've posted. So, so there's something I posted of my dog, and said Elsa is hiding, but you can see there's I posted it to hashtag dogs of Instagram and hashtag dog lover. So anytime I post something on Instagram, I always throw out a couple of hashtags. I have a bunch of followers. I have no earthly idea who those people are. I know they're people that have found me from my hashtags. So again, as a business, that's how you get people following you.
Maybe people follow you from the classes. Is that possible?
It's possible, but I don't know if I would recognize the names, but before I started teaching this class, I had people following me before I started teaching the Instagram class that I didn't know who they were. And I follow a lot of people that I don't know who they are, but I found them through hashtags.
Oh.
So that's the other powerful part of hashtags. It's how you get your name out there. Even if you're just a person, you still like for people to look at what you're posting. If you're a business, then it's really important.
I just remember, like, if you respond to certain like surveys or something that says hashtag blah blah blah, but I can't understand the concept of hashtags. That's where I'm coming at.
Yeah, well, and to try and cut it down to the main thing is that hashtags are how, from a consumer's perspective, how I can see pictures of things that I'm interested in. I love dogs, and I see pictures of dogs. So by going to hashtag dogs of Instagram, that's how I can see pictures of dogs. So it's really a way for me to see pictures from people that posted by people I don't know and will never know, but I can just look at their pictures. Now, where I was talking about people finding me from my hashtag, maybe I'm looking through here and I say, wow, that's a really great picture. I'll touch on that. That will take me to the actual post. Now, if I touch here, this takes me to, this is the person that posted it. It'll take me to their profile, just like I was just showing you my profile. This is their profile. And if I say, I really like what this person's doing, I want to see what this person's posting, I click follow. Now I'm following Phyllis Shear Husky. So that person just got a follower from the hashtag page.
Those are pretty pictures.
Yeah. But it's really just a way, Kirsten, to see things that you're interested in seeing. Or if it's on Twitter, get information about a topic you're interested in.
So instead of emailing, you can just use the hashtag and go into a virtual thing.
Yep. So and it can be, and if you're just looking for something, you would probably just start by searching for hashtag, whatever you're interested in: cats, dogs, sunsets, Wild West programs. You can hashtag anything and find, and they're all out there.
So how do you compare using hashtags in Instagram versus I use Google image search to find images that I'm interested in using?
It's achieving the same goal. I mean, if you're on Instagram, I mean, you could search Instagram, you could just search for dog instead of hashtag dogs, but it's just another way to group information. So I would not say one is better or worse than the other. It's just another way to do it. The thing is, you do an image search for Google, you'll see pictures. but that's all you see is that picture. By doing it in Instagram, not only did I saw that picture that I liked and it was this one, I actually found who posted it. Now I could actually even message this person saying, hey, I love your pictures. Where do you live? Do you want to see some? You can actually start a conversation with that person. By following them, you'll see future things they post. So it really brings in that social media part of it where you're interacting with people instead of just seeing a picture on that you search for on Google.
Great, thank
Did I
you.
get your question, Jackie? I see your hands up.
Yeah, yeah, the question I have is, like this name on this one, that Velatcher Husky, would you use would you actually put your name, your real name, in a hashtag? I mean, I know you use your last name for your reunion pictures, but if you were gonna pick, like you like flowers, would you put your name, would you just use flowers or then put your name by it somehow? Or would you just use some other just word instead of your name and flowers?
Probably wouldn't use your name unless you're a business and you want people to find your business. You would probably just put related information. Let me go back to the feed again to kind of find something else. Let me and see, everybody doesn't use hashtags. I don't know that Meredith uses hashtags. Let me. No, and she didn't because she didn't even have a comment there. I was going to try and find it. Oh, Eric Peterson is a photographer. I follow him, so that's why I got this. But here's like hashtags he uses. Livingston Mountain, that's where he took the picture. Hashtag Livingston again. Hashtag wind because it's showing wind. Hashtag Windy City.
Whoa.
Hashtag Montana. He took it in Montana. So you can put hashtags about lots of other things. And again, if me as somebody looking at it, and what will happen is I say, oh, Montana, that's where Yellowstone is filmed. I would touch hashtag Montana and go see what else are people posting about Montana. And now I'm off in a whole different range.